Greetings everyone, Eric here, and welcome back to another product review. In this one, we're going to be looking at the Veikk VK1560. That's right, another little tablet from Veikk. However, this one is a step up because it is their 15-inch display drawing tablet. You've seen me review some of these before from, I believe, Oogie and Pienbu. This one's from Veikk, and it does have a distinct difference. And I will show you that when I'm unboxing it, and I'll show you all the lovely little things about it, and you'll see as soon as you see it. But yeah, we're going to head over straight to the unboxing, where I'm going to kind of show you what's in the box. I'm going to talk about some of the features while I'm unboxing it, all that kind of stuff. Let's just get right into it, because then after that we're going to go into me just kind of drawing and talking. And this one's going to be a little more interesting because I do have a little bit more to say, or I should say I have a little bit different things to say. I even made some notes for me to follow while I'm recording, so anyway, let's get right over to the unboxing part, so I'll see you over there. Alright, so right off the bat, no fancy box this time, but that's fine. This is a much bigger product, and so to kind of save you guys money, they cut the costs by not having a fancy box. Once we open the box up, you'll notice that there's a really nice amount of black foam in here. It's actually really dense, which I'll show you in a minute. Right on the side here, you notice this little box. This is where all the extra components are being held. First thing we're going to see right off the bat is the stylus pen holder, which conveniently has the word stylus pen written right on the front, just to make sure you don't forget what's in this box. And as I open it up, you'll see the pen inside. It is the exact same batteryless pen that has come with the other two tablets, but it's also in a nicer container with all the little extra nibs and the nib thingy to pull it out. This is a very light pen, and it's also got the nice buttons on it. If you're not used to the really light pens, this will feel a little bit weird, but you can kind of get used to it eventually. Next thing we're going to pull out is the power adapter, of course, which is just two different plugs. Very straightforward. This is how you get your power to the tablet. Next, we have the HDMI cable, which means, yes, this is a display tablet, if the, title of the video didn't give that away already. Shush. And then, of course, we have the lovely USB cable, which is pretty much needed in this case. Like I said, the foam is super thick and dense, which is really good. It's got a little cutout here for a little piece of the tablet to kind of slide in. We'll see in a moment. Right under that, we have another glove, which I don't already have 1,000 of. We have a little thank you card, which has a little thank you, and on the other side has a place where you can download the drivers, as per usual with Veikk. Underneath that, we have the quick start guide. Very self-explanatory, just helps you out with knowing how to get stuff installed and put together for you. And then it even comes with a little mini DisplayPort adapter, which I didn't need, but it's really nice that it comes with that without you having to buy it separate, so kudos on them. And then we have the back of the tablet, which I've already removed the foam casing, which you'll see up in the top, which is laying on, just for my own sanity's sake. You'll notice right away that in the back it's very different. The angled stand is built into the tablet. I don't like this because you'll see here there's no area for 4 screws, which if you know how monitors work, this means you cannot mount this onto a monitor mount of any other kind, for instance like the maneuverable one like I have. I'm taking a point off for that because I don't like that. But you may not have a problem with that, it's up to you. Over on the left side, you're going to notice all the buttons for the menus and stuff like that, which is really handy to have right there on the back so you can easily reach. As we pull her out, you'll see here the 3 inputs for the different connectors. We have the USB, we have the HDMI, and we have the power. Very self-explanatory. Now, as we flip the girl over, you'll see that she is quite nice looking on the front. She's got the screen protector already on her, which is really nice, but you'll notice that there are buttons. That's right, express keys, finally. It has 8 express keys and a little dial thing, which spins. That's that little round part. It spins so you can do cool things like zooming in and stuff, which I'll show off later. You also notice on the right side, it has a little indent spot for you to put the pen. That's right, you can just put the stylus pen right on the tablet. That's actually really handy. I will give them a point back for that. That is really cool. Now, let's go over and let's see this thing in action. I'll already have the drivers installed and everything, so we don't have to go through that because that's boring and it's something I've done 100 times, so let's just draw with it and let me talk about a few little notes. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to talk here while you watch me draw things. And I'll kind of go over some notes that I kind of wrote down. First off, Again, I don't like that there are no mounting screws. This is a huge negative for me because it kind of screws up how I can have it sitting on my desk. And you'll notice in the video, if you see my little camera, I have it sitting on top of a kind of table-esque thing that I had to build, or actually I had to have my father build. And I really don't like it. Like, it's very inconvenient and very just kind of makes things feel cluttered. It would have been so much nicer if they had just allowed you to have a removable stand so that I could just mount it the way I would prefer to mount something like this. The buttons themselves do feel pretty nice. They're pretty solid, but the problem that I found is that sometimes, and I don't know if this is a driver issue or not, sometimes the buttons will either not want to respond properly or they'll get stuck. And by stuck, I mean kind of like when you press it and you let go, it does come out, but the computer still thinks that the button's pressed. Kind of like if you get your control key or your shift key kind of digitally stuck, basically, not like physically stuck, but like through the software, it kind of gets stuck. And so it takes a little bit to get it to like register that it was unstuck. I even had to close the drivers and reopen them to get it to work. So that was very weird. The cursor itself does not glide smoothly across the screen. I'll even show you here. It's got some like random edging or something. You can see here, right, where when I'm trying to draw like smooth lines, it randomly will like do a bit of an angle and like a kind of, like it doesn't know how to do it smoothly. This could just be their drivers needing some updates, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here a little bit. But that's just something I noticed. Another thing that needs some fine-tuning is the calibration. I noticed that after I calibrated, it still wasn't great, even though I followed it very, very precisely. That could just take a few times of calibration to get it right, but I think they need to fine-tune that a little bit. There is some jitter, or at least some very slight jitter, when using a ruler. I also had trouble getting the ruler to work, but here you can see I'm just kind of drawing some straight lines at different angles, and there is a little bit of wobble, not terrible amount, and not enough that you're going to notice. There's also really no real parallaxing that I could notice while staring straight at it. You're not going to notice that. You have to look at an angle to notice the parallaxing or the distinction or the distance between the pen and the actual surface that you're seeing. The pen and the erase button doesn't work that well. When you hit the pen erase button, which is the back button on the pen itself, it'll switch to eraser mode, which is nice, but when you hit it again, it's treating that as if I hit like B on my keyboard, which takes me to my brush tool rather than the tool I previously had. I think that they need to fine-tune the driver so that it instead takes you back to whatever your tool was that you were using before you switched over to the eraser tool. So that's something that they can fine-tune. I also awkwardly find myself not wanting to use the express keys because of the problem I talked about before, where they seem to lock or freeze up sometimes. Overall, it's a very nicely designed tablet, but I feel that it needs some more tweaks, both in the driver and the physical design here and there, to kind of stand up against other display tablets on the market. But that's just my thoughts. If you would like a full rundown of the specs, just look in the description. You'll see a link to the Amazon page where you can get all the main specs. Believe me, there's more specs than I can just sit here and read off, and there'd be no point in me dragging out the video any longer. Alright, so like I said, this tablet isn't quite perfect. I think it has a few flaws here and there. Some of it could be driver, as I said. Some of it is like maybe some build quality stuff. I'm not quite sure, but obviously, this one still needs a little bit more work. If you would like to check it out yourself, I'll of course leave a link in the description where you can go and check it out. It's one of those scenarios where you can either get it now and just see if maybe it was a fluke with me of some of the problems I was having, or maybe hold off and see if they make like some updates and stuff like that. Keep an eye on them. I do want to support Veikk. I do like this new company coming out, trying their hand at this not easy setup of the tablets and all. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next. I'm hoping to work with them some more, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, give it the thumbs up. If you would like to continue seeing my content, just hit that subscribe button. If you have any suggestions on what you would like to see next, whether it be drawing stuff or whether it be product reviews or whatever, please leave it down in the comments section and I will try to get to them. I try to read every one of them. Even if you have questions, go ahead and leave them down there. All my social media links, of course, are in the description. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.